Now, two drivers you're going to hear a lot about in 2026, the Quantum by Callaway and the Qi4D by TaylorMade, and these are available in your Foremost professional shop right now. I always say it's really important to make sure you get fitted for your driver. However, we're going to go through a few key points here today that hopefully can help you make the right decision when it comes to your game. Let's get into the video and take a closer look at these two big hitting drivers. First impressions, really important with the driver. And remember, we don't really look at head covers that much, do we? But they're actually on your bag the whole time that you've got these drivers in your bag. So my first impressions when it comes to these two driver head covers, kind of a nice classy look from TaylorMade. I love this kind of new blue kind of look to it. And then when we move over to the Quantum by Callaway, loving the stitching on the top there and that easy grab just to pull that off as we work out onto the golf course. Now, from a looks point of view, let's start off with the Callaway. Got that carbon look on top. We've got that nice rail that runs around the top there and that chevron that really blends in nicely to be able to frame up to the golf ball. If we look at the face, I got AI when I think about this, and Callaway really pushing the needle when it comes to AI, and I love the way in which it frames up to the golf ball, those white stripes, bringing you in, bringing your eyes into the center part of that golf ball. And then when we go to the TaylorMade, well, we've still got that kind of carbon effect that runs all the way around this driver. Whereas Callaway have got the rail on top, we've got more of a white streak that I think really blends between top edge and then moving into the face. And then whereas Callaway have got the chevron on top, we've got the TaylorMade logo right on top there again, making it really easy to line up to the ball. But then again, a very different look when it comes to the face, a carbon look, which kind of makes me feel like I'm going to get a slightly different sound out of this driver. But again, very similar to the Callaway, those white lines really framing that golf ball nicely, which makes it really easy to line up when you're going up for that big drive. Now, sound and feel, really, really important. Some people say that sound and feel is even more important than looks because you will get used to looking at your driver. Didn't really know what to expect with the AI face, but I'm impressed. It sounded quite hard and poppy off the face, which meant that it kind of felt to me like I had a lot of power behind this face. We'll look at the numbers and see how we get on from that. But first impressions with the AI face, very, very impressive. Then we move into the carbon effect of this driver from TaylorMade, and I've got a sense that this is going to sound a little bit, well, a little bit more dull in its approach than what we got out of the Callaway. However, you never know because these drivers always been inspired by the tour players. So whatever the tour players are kind of looking to get from their drivers will go into what we're going to be putting out onto the golf course. Let's see what the TaylorMade has to offer. Yeah, a little bit lower on the face that time, but I would say a more, well, I was expecting dull, didn't get dull. I kind of had it as a bit more of a higher pitch than what I'm expecting, but feel-wise, it's a difficult one. I probably like the feel out of the TaylorMade over that Callaway, but I love the sound of what that Callaway is giving me at the same time. Let's get up there and see how they performed into this, well, quite a bit of wind. Well, two really interesting drives that we've got here. One right in the middle of the fairway, which was the Callaway, the first tee shot, moving our way back to the TaylorMade. And actually, that's the importance of fitting, isn't it? What we're seeing from these two shots might not be what we're seeing from the numbers that we're getting from a studio. Now, from a ball speed point of view, TaylorMade, which is a little bit shorter on this particular shot, giving me an extra 1 or 2 miles an hour off the face from the testing that I've done. 150 mile an hour compared to what I'm seeing out of the Callaway at 148, 49 mile an hour. From a launch point of view, nothing in it at all. Both launching out, they're pretty much the same. And from a spin number point of view, nothing in it as well. Around 2,300 to nearly 2,400 revs, which I actually think is really playable on the golf course. But from a distance point of view, I'm getting a 250 yards or 251 yards on average out of the Callaway, compared to an extra 5 yards than what I'm getting out of the TaylorMade. Again, not seeing that with those two shots, but this is the importance of making sure you get fit for the driver. See which one's going to work best for your game. So there you go, some impressive numbers that we're getting from both these drivers, but what more impresses me is how they've actually performed into the wind there, and the numbers not necessarily showing what we're getting on the golf course, which is why I always think it's so important to get fit for these drivers. From a looks point of view, I think one's going to stand out more than the other, even though they have got some similarities with that carbon look. But this is where you need to go and have a conversation with your foremost professional team. Book yourself in for a fitting with these drivers and see which one is going to work best for your game.